This is the dad from MichaelShepard.net, coming to you from RCS Sports Parents and Coaches Recruiting Workshop 2007 from Houston, Texas. The only workshop of its kind in the United States of America. In this video, we continue with the great message from Coach George Raveling of Nike USA and the message that every parent and every player must pay attention to. So let's get back to it.
I truly believe that the recruiting process starts when you ask a bunch of fundamental questions of yourself. And I think the family needs to ask these questions and get solid answers to them. And some of the questions are like this. What is it that I want to do with my life? Does that not have something to do with the college that you select? If I don't know what I want to do with my life, then hell, I can go to any college. But if I know what I want to do with my life, then I can marry up my expectations with that college. And the chances of me being successful are like greater. I used to ask every single kid this when I went into his home on a recruiting visit. Where do you want to be 10 years from now? 95% of them would say playing in the NBA. And so I would stretch it out a little more and ask them, okay, besides playing in the NBA, what else is it that you want to do with your life? When you're not playing in the league anymore, what do you want to be doing? You say, well, why am I asking these kind of questions? Because they help frame your decision for a college. Because if I know what I want to be doing 10 years from now, I can guarantee I can eliminate 90% of the schools recruit me because they won't help. They're not structured to get me where I want to go. It doesn't mean they're not good schools. They're just not structured to get me where I want to go. Okay, so I answered the question, what do I want to be 10 years from now? Now the next question is, how do I get there? And what must I do to get there? And then once I arrive, what's next? So, I think a lot of parents and a lot of recruits fail to ask themselves these type of fundamental questions when they're making a decision. They get too caught up in the pseudo things, uniforms and rankings and TV and how much am I going to play and all of those things. The question is, how effective of a player am I going to be in the game of life? That's the real question. You want to talk about playing time? How effective of a player am I going to be in the game of life? That's the game I got to win. And so I think you ask these questions as you try to structure and create a game plan for your child's life. This is serious business. In my opinion, it's the second most important decision that child's going to make in his young adult life. The only other decision going to be more important than that is who I choose to marry. It's the second most important decision that kid's going to make. And so you've got to put him in an environment, in a structure that's going to allow him to make an intelligent decision. And I believe if you don't have a game plan, you don't have a career plan for your life, the chances are excellent that you're never going to maximize the opportunities that confront you as you walk the streets of life. And I'd say this to you. You can't wish your way to success. You can't hope your way to success. But you can plan your way to success. And I'd encourage each and every one of your parents to really sit down and to rethink this whole recruiting process and to create a structure and an environment that's going to allow your child to succeed, not the next 2 years, not the next 3 years or 4 years, but for the rest of their life. And they need that from you. And so I would say to you, if you came to me, I would say start to develop a 5-year plan for that child. And let them be involved in it. It's a great educational process for them. You don't have to have it to be have a PhD or be overly intelligent to advise your children. I don't think I did that bad in life, and my mom and dad never went to high school. My grandmother never went to high school. But like my grandmother used to always say to us, if you had a choice between common sense and book knowledge, always take common sense. You won't go too far. And that's how my mom and my dad and my grandma raised us, with common sense. And I say to you, who probably everybody in this room is better educated than my mom and dad and grandma were, that just take the basic intelligence that you have and apply it to trying to put your child in the best environment to succeed. And encourage them every single day to be the best possible human being that they can. Tell them every day that you love them. Tell them every day that you believe in them. Tell them every day that they can be anything in life that they want to be, if they want to be. Because you know what? They can be. They can be anything in life that they want to be, if they really want to be. And so I say start by building a 5-year roadmap, a 5-year plan for your child. And I think you should focus on 4 areas. You know, you get into this dialogue about kids going directly from high school to the pros, and the guy will say they're ready. Well, my retort to that is, yes, they're probably ready to play pro ball, but that's only one component. See, I think there's a social component, there's an academic component, there's a spiritual component. And I think those are the 4 areas that need to be addressed as you're giving advice to that youngster. Is the academic component. You can go to the NBA and make all the money you want. But can you sit across the table from a financial planner and ask intelligent questions without an education? I'll never forget one summer. John Thompson and I grew up in the same neighborhood in Washington, D.C. We've been lifelong friends. And I said to John one year, and we were having dinner, just in an idle conversation, I said, hey, John, what's Patrick doing this summer? And that was Patrick Ewing. He was with the Knicks. And he says, oh, he's going back to school taking some courses. And I said, I thought he graduated. He said he did. He said, but he's going back taking some business courses so that when he sits in business meetings with people who are investing his money and advising him, that he can ask intelligent questions. You see, just because you can speak English doesn't mean that you can carry on a conversation in a business meeting, because the dialogue is different.